Alright guys, number 9. The base of a right prism is an equilateral triangle with side length 6. The height of the prism is 8 centimeters. Find the volume. Okay, so if we imagine the bottom of this prism is this equilateral triangle, just like they said, with the side length 6. Alright, all the sides are 6. And this is a prism which is going to take these two bases, these two equilateral triangles, and connect them, right? And so we'd have something that looks something like that. Alright, so we want to find the volume. So let's look at the formula. The general formula is big B times H, where big B is the area of the base. Well, our shape, our base shape, is a triangle. And so to find the area of a triangle, we need 1/2 little b times h. Little b and h being pertaining to the actual base triangle. All right, so we do have the base of the triangle, and the base of the triangle is 6. But the height is something that we have to go and find. So let's look over here at our triangle. If this is an equilateral triangle, and we want the height of it, we should know that if it's equilateral, then it's also equiangular, which means the angles are all 60 degrees. Which means when we drop the height, we get a 30, 60, 90 degree triangle. 30, 60, 90. Opposite the 30 is half of the base, which is 3. And opposite the 60 is that number, 3 root 3. All right, that's the height of our triangle, 3 root 3. If we multiply this out, we get 1/2 times 6, which is 3, and 3 times 3 is 9, root 3, and that's our big B. So going back to our volume formula, which is what we were originally looking for, we're going to take our big B, which is 9 root 3, and we're going to multiply it by the height of the whole prism, which they're telling me is 8. So all we really have to multiply here are the 9 and the 8. The 9 times 8 is 72. Root 3 is still there, and since this is volume, that will be centimeters cubed. All right, number 10. Volume of a cone is 400 pi centimeters cubed, and its diameter is 20 centimeters. Find the height, slant height, and the total surface area of the cone. All right, so we've got a cone, circular base, pointy top, and we know that the volume is 400 pi centimeters cubed. So I'm going to start with the volume formula for a cone, which we should know is 1/3 big B times h. And since the base is a circle, that's 1/3 pi r squared times h. And we know that this is equal to 400 pi centimeters cubed. And since the diameter is 20, that tells me right away, if the diameter is 20, then r is half of that, it's 10. So I'm going to go ahead and plug that into my formula here. 400 pi is equal to 1/3 pi times, now r is 10, so 10 squared is 100 h. All right, I want to solve for h. And so right now I'm looking at pi times 100 divided by 3. And to get rid of all that, I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. And the reciprocal of pi times 100 over 3 is 3 over 100 times pi. Just numerator goes to denominator. 3 over 100 times pi. And 100 pi's cancel. Everything over here cancels. Pi's cancel, and then we've got 3 times 400, which is 1200. And 1200 divided by 100 is actually just 12. And that's equal to what we have over here, which is just h. All right, so h is 12, which is what they want me to get. Slant height I need to find. So let's look at our picture of my cone over here. The h we now know is 12, and the radius we know is 10. And we had said a while ago that there was this relationship between the slant height, which is down the side of the cone, that L squared equaled R squared plus H squared. So let's go ahead and fill in our R. That's 10 squared plus 12 squared. And 10 squared plus 12 squared is 100 plus 144, or 244. So L is equal to the square root of 244. If you need to pause this and go back, go ahead. So that finds our slant height, which is the second thing that we were looking for. And then finally, let's just find our total surface area of the cone. So let me kind of rope this off. Surface area of the cone is going to be one of those bases plus pi r L, L being the slant height. And so the base is pi r squared plus pi r L. I'm going to plug everything in now that we know it. So pi times r squared, r being 10, is 100. Plus pi times, once again, r is still 10, and L we just found out is the square root of 244. So if we look at this, we've got 100 pi plus 10 root 244 pi. And if you want to put that in your calculators and get a decimal, then you can.